The probability distribution for the number of students in statistics classes offered at a small college is given, but one value is missing. Fill in the missing value, then answer the questions that follow. You may round your answers to 2 decimal places if necessary. So first, let's find the missing probability. In order to do that, we have to understand that for any probability distribution, all your probabilities must be values between 0 and 1, and the sum of all of your probabilities has to be equal to 1. So if the sum of my probabilities has to be equal to 1, then 0.16 plus 0.2 plus 0.23 plus some value, which I'll just leave as x for right now, plus 0.18, all has to add up to 1. On the left-hand side of this equation, 0.16 plus 0.2 plus 0.23 plus 0.18, that all adds up to 0.77. So 0.77 plus some missing probability is equal to the total 1. Now, this is a simple linear equation in algebra, and I can solve that if I subtract 0.77 from both sides, which will leave me just the value of the missing probability, and that is 0.23. And knowing that value, I can now answer the next 2 questions, which are to find the mean and the standard deviation of this distribution. In order to find the mean and the standard deviation of the distribution, I'm going to use the calculator, and in the calculator I'm going to use the function 1varstats. So 1varstats gives me mean, standard deviation, median, all kinds of different statistics based off of a set of data. But since I'm doing grouped data, I have to take into account that the different values of my random variable will be L1. The probabilities will go into L2. So that's how I will enter my data into lists in the calculator. And if you already have information in those lists, clear them out, highlight the name of the list, press clear, and then enter. And then you can start putting in new data. In L2, I'll put the probabilities, taking care to include the missing probability that I just found. And now I can run 1varstats. But again, because I have grouped data, I need to make sure I use the L1, L2 parameters so that the calculator knows to give me weighted statistics. So the weighted mean of my distribution is 27.07. And I will list that as a population mean because with probability distributions, you should know your entire population. So in theory, it should be a population mean. And also, the sample standard deviation isn't calculable because the sum of your frequencies equals 1, and that messes up the formula for a sample standard deviation, which results in division by 0. In the end, however, all you need to know is to get the standard deviation, just use the only one that's given, which is the population standard deviation. So 1.34.